Welcome back to Merchant, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. But if this is your first time on here, we discuss all things fragrances and all things hip hop. So if that's the type of content y'all interested in, make sure y'all run up them comments, like, and hit that subscribe button. But what I got for y'all today is something very, very revered, and this is something that is pretty much considered a modern day legend all across the fragrance community, and that is this right here, Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and this can pretty much speak for itself. I feel like this is something that's very potent and rich, and this definitely deserves all the credit that it has. And this is certainly very sweet. It's not listed as a gourmand, but let me list off a couple of notes in this before I really dive into what I smell. This right here, of course, has vanilla and tobacco in it, but it also has cacao in it. It has dried fruits, and I feel like that's where you get some of that darkness. And it has tobacco blossom in this. And I feel like this is certainly sweet, but it also has a lot of spicy notes and woody notes in this. I kind of pick up on a little bit of the woody notes, I think, with a little bit more of the down with the bottom layers, but up front, this is pretty bold, I feel, and this is certainly sweet. It's not listed as a gourmand, but this is something I feel like has very creamy and richness in it, thanks to the vanilla. The sweetness in it is very extracted because of the cacao. And with that cacao, I feel like this really resembles like some sort of like Thanksgiving, time, or like holiday time, because I pick up on like candied yams. This is like a sweet potato in a bottle. I believe it's because of that cacao. It's like you get somewhat like a dark chocolatey, richness from this. I don't really hear people say that, but that's kind of what I pick up on. It smells like a gourmand, like you get, that chocolatey richness, and it's like I said, a sweet potato. So think brown sugar, butter, nutmeg, cinnamon being blended in like a bowl, and applied to like some sweet potatoes. Like that's exactly how this smells. Like you can eat this, and I certainly feel like, this was one of my the better Tom Ford fragrances, and a lot of people just love this fragrance since it came out, and that was 07. So this is, like I said, certainly a modern day classic, and I feel like this is something that's a tad bit more mature. So I don't really feel like it's not very youthful. So this isn't necessarily a blind buy. You probably have to have more so of a mature nose for this, but I feel like most people that come across this fragrance do like it. And if I had to rate this, I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. And when you're applying this, I really feel like it projects very well off of skin, but on clothes, I feel like it's just as broad and just as potent, but its character, I think, is very rich off of skin. And when you're applying this, man, especially for the fellas out there, make sure y'all spray this on y'all neck, so when you hugging your girl or that special someone, she definitely gonna smell that, man. She gonna eat you, man. I promise you. This is very just an incredible fragrance. All across the board, hands down. Like I said, it's quite, it's pretty mature. This is very mature. And that's the only thing I'd probably say is a little bit off-putting about it. But like I said, most people that come across this is gonna love it. And projection time, this is absolutely beast mode. This is gonna push for 10 hours, man. You could definitely get 10 hours out of this. I sprayed this on my wrist, man, and it was still on my wrist, and it was a light spray for like 3 hours. So when I sprayed it on my clothes when I went out, I got a whole bunch of compliments, man. I was just going shopping, and a couple of people, they was just like, that's very nice. Told them what it was, and they was like, all right. There's some nice recommendations I gave for this bottle. And Tobacco Vanille is certainly, I feel like, a 10 out of 10 fragrance, and this is definitely, given all the respect and credit that it deserves. I feel like this is certainly one of the better fragrances Tom Ford has released, and this is pretty old, but it's still very much relevant, and that just shows you its longevity, and it's just, I feel like it's value. So this is Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, and make sure y'all stay tuned. Thanks for watching. Run up them comments and subscribe. Much love.